Hi friends, in our time together today, I'm sharing the fingering for just a few of the notes into the third octave. You will not likely play these often, but there are times when you're going to want to, and we'll talk about that at the end of this video. So I'll keep that in readiness as to when you probably want to play these notes. The fingerings I'm introducing are the third octave E, F sharp, G, and A. I'm including a link at the top of the notes to this video to the page of my website from which you could download the tabs for these different notes. And you'll see when you look at those and when I talk about them that there are different fingerings, optional fingerings for the third octave notes. And the reason for that is a couple of fold. First, and primarily, all whistles are different. And so different whistles require different fingerings, breath pressure of the musician. I've practiced these some. I found in practicing them that one time I hit them great, and the next time I fail miserably because the way I'm handling my breath pressure. So we need these options. Another thing to bear in mind, as you're learning to play these third octave notes on your whistles, I already said every whistle is different. Remember, some whistles require a higher level of breath pressure for us to play even into the second octave. And playing those into the third octave is really going to require you to learn some additional skills. So this is a great exercise. This isn't a side benefit of learning to play the notes in the third octave. A side benefit is that you're going to learn so much more about breath pressure. Now, when you're experimenting with the third octave, wear your hearing protection. I've got mine in because these are shrill. Don't practice them with a friend or family member in the next room. Go outside, go in another part of the house where you're not going to bug somebody. I was practicing them earlier and Cindy said, "What was that?" So anyway, that's how it goes. Special thank you to our friends who have asked for us to review these notes, and a particular special thank you to a few of our friends who have provided me with some fingering charts for them, and I have looked them up online, but particularly Joey, a great friend in our community, now just a good friend, who is really the first one to really start helping me out on this. As I go through this, there will be fingerings that you say, I'm not a fan of that one. Please comment. If you have a favorite fingering for some of these notes, please comment. So important for community to get involved in this conversation. I don't have a depth of experience here. Some of you do. Please comment. Help our community. Also, if I'm missing your favorite fingerings, please comment. I will update the chart. And I've not put them in order of importance, because what I do is I list one of the notes and then alternate fingerings. I believe that your favorite fingering on one of these notes might not be mine, and vice versa. So remember, all of this whistle dependent, somewhat player dependent, person dependent. So as you practice these, I find it helpful to walk up to them. So I'm going to start off with the Burke low D, the brass viper, just to remind us, walking up to from the second octave to the third octave D. And I find I need just a little more focused air on that third octave D. So let me jump into some of these. We'll do the Burke first. and I've got a couple of whistles, and depending upon how much time I feel like we're taking, I've got 3 I was going to use, but we'll see based on time, because I just want to introduce this and see how it goes for us, because we'll probably dive in and talk about it later. And I also want to keep time for when you might use this. And so, a disclaimer at the front. I'm going to mess up. This is newer for me. And like I said, if you're more experienced with this, please comment. I need it. So I'm going to go from the 3rd octave D, and the fingering chart has all these options. The ones I'm going to show you for the 3rd octave E are holes 1, 2, 4, 5, holes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, holes 1, 2, 5, holes 1, 2, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 6. I'll just play them each. Some will be, well, some might be spot on, some will a little sharp. So anyway, here we go. Notice that was the way I played it, just a smidge flat. But you heard me squeaking on my first attempt, which means that I probably need to learn better breath pressure with this. All right, did you notice how that E could be very strong? And notice how on this whistle, some of them were just sounded great. Pay attention to the tone quality. Some of them sounded a little flat. See which one you like. Let's go now to the F sharp. The F sharp 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 is going to be one of the fingerings. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 is one of the fingerings. 1, 2, 3, 6 is one of the fingerings. One more. 1. Sorry, I said 2. Let me start that over. Ha! My bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 is the first I'm going to show. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, 1, 3, 4, 6. Then I'll pull my picture back up here. I don't want to be missing it. 1, 3, 4. All right, let me walk through those. I'm going to go from the 3rd octave D because I find walking up to these very helpful. See, all of those F sharps to me sounded pretty good. Good tone on them. I was happy with that. Now, the G you need to be a little more careful. One of these, because so far you're really having to focus your air. On the G, one of these you got to get a little bit more relaxed, and one of them you got to push a little harder. So the first, I got 2 options for the G, 3rd octave. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 1, 3, 6. Let's try them. From the 3rd octave D. Aha, my bad. Earlier in practice, I could get the 1, 2, 3, 6, but just now I pulled off the 1, 3, 6. So now the 3rd octave A, I've got 3 options for that, and you're going to scratch your head at a couple of them, and this is again where I need comments. So the first one, 1, 2, 4 5. Second, 1 2 5 6. Third, 2 3 4 5. Now, the 1 2 5 6 and the 1 2 4 5 we've already used. But again, that's why this is whistle dependent. So I'm going to walk up and do on the Burke, the one that really works is the 2 3 4 5. Alrighty, I told you it was loud. Oh, now to show you just a difference, I'm going to do, this is the Tony Dixon, the tunable of their least expensive high Ds. In the interest of time, I think I'll just do this one. I was going to do the Burke as well, just for demonstration purposes. But once you've seen it, you don't need that much. So I'm going to run through some of these, just a few of them on the Tony Dixon. As much to say, even on this whistle, you can play some of these third octave notes. Well, I almost jumped into why you're going to want to play these. That's coming right next. So, I was blown third octave hard. Okay, that's a good. Interestingly, the E that was a little flat on my Burke is fine on the Dixon. Although 1 2 5 is a little better. Let me go to the F sharp. Oh yeah, so those are good. Okay, 1 3 6 was great on the G. And let me try my favorite on the A, 2 3 4 5. It's a little sharp. Probably need to use one of the other ones. I just wanted to do that to show you. Whew, even with hearing protection, I'm feeling that. Now, let's close out by talking about why in the world would you want to play these notes? Because, even with hearing protection. There are some say, well, you're just wanting to show off that you could play them. I get that. If you do it too much, maybe you are. Like with anything else, if you do too much of one thing, maybe you are just showing off. But there are times when this is helpful. You see, somebody was chatting with me recently. It was like, there's this really high chirp that Joni Madden uses sometimes. What is that? I need to pay better attention to her, to slow it down and really look at her fingers. I believe she's playing a third octave note as a high chirp. Sometimes when she's doing octave jumps and she does like this brilliant, really almost chirpy high note, that's at least a third octave overtone onto the note. So that's good. Also, there are tunes you play. Like when you're playing a tune, and let's say it goes up to that third octave E, you can actually play an accompanying note, like an A, and replace the E. But now and then, you want to play that third octave note. Well, you need to know how to do it. And so that's another situation. So that's helpful. And also at times, you might want to play something that just highlights and impacts a moment in a tune. Use a third octave note as an ornament almost, as it were. And so that's helpful too. Anyway, my friends, please comment. I need to go give my ears a rest, and let me know your favorite fingerings. I've only included these 4. We may do more later, but it all depends on whether you all are going, please share more. right now, I think I'm happy with just these. Please comment on your favorite fingerings and list the whistle you're playing with that, because the fingering in a vacuum doesn't mean the same thing as it means, and this fingering works with this whistle. I hope this is helpful, my friends. I know a number of you were asking about it, and here we go, third octave, or at least some of the notes. If you're brand new and checking us out because of this video, please subscribe. Join our great community of folks learning the whistle together. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling, friends.